Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for requesting this private session round of EFT that I'm getting ready to do with Shanna. Hopefully, you've already listened to the podcast, but if you haven't, it'll be linked right below this video. And I highly recommend checking that out first so that you understand a little bit of the science and the reasoning behind why this technique works the way that it does. So, Shanna, what did you want to work on today?
Yes, I know we talked about it a little bit earlier and they go hand in hand. It's energy, hormones, and really weight gain within that hormone
Yes.
imbalance.
Perfect. Those
Mhm.
definitely do go together, which is important because if we're going to do a round of EFT, we want it to have a specific focus. My dog wants to be like part of this. He's
Oh,
like
I love
lending
it.
his
So
nose.
cute. Look at his little snout. Yes.
All right. So tell me, how long has this been going on? I think you said a couple of years.
Yes, I would say in the last about 2.5 years, it definitely shifted. What a sweetheart.
2.5 years.
Yeah.
Go lay down, Mowgli. Um, all right. And what do you notice with your energy? Like what's different or how does it feel on a day-to-day basis?
I would say what's different is if I wanted to do all of the things or if I felt good, I could almost make myself. And I've been diagnosed previously with like depression and anxiety, and it almost
Okay.
still kind of sits on me heavy where it feels like I can't make myself start or continue the day. So it just feels heavy on me that way.
Okay. Does it feel like a lack of energy or does it feel like a like there's kind of like a wall, like self-sabotage or procrastination?
No, it feels, I think it's still energy and it just
Okay.
feels tough to begin.
Okay. And what have you noticed or been experiencing due to the shift in hormones?
Definitely that my nutrition, which was pretty on point when I used to do heavy lifting and competing,
Hmm.
it was no longer giving me energy. It wasn't helping me maintain or continue progress in a healthy body. I was continuing to gain weight. And I felt very stressed when I would do the normal activities I was doing. So I switched from heavy lifting and power lifting to like Pilates and that kind of
Okay.
calming exercise.
All right. And then what about weight?
Yeah, that one was tough because I was doing the things that I know should be helping, and I would say I started to continue to gain weight more and more. It's now steady. I haven't gained any more, but I want to be on that progression towards
Yeah,
the healthier me.
I can totally relate. I went through a lot of similar things around your age also. So, how does it make you feel? Like, how do all of these things make you feel? Like when you think about them, like what are the feelings or the thoughts or what does the voice of your inner critic say?
I feel extremely frustrated
Okay.
uh, because I know the things that I'm doing should yield the results. And to be honest, sometimes I also then find jealousy because I will see people just starting and they will lose weight, they will gain muscle, they will see things. And even though I feel like maybe I'm doing
Yeah.
even more, I'm not getting any of those results. So I would say, unfortunately, there's a little bit of jealousy that comes after that
Oh,
frustration.
perfect. And what does it feel like when you don't have the energy to start things?
Oh, it feels like I'm not going to get to where I know that I can. Um, I guess within that energy, it feels like business isn't building because I can't do the things to move the needle.
Okay. And then how do you feel about the changes in your hormones?
Oh, I go through an array of that. I'll have sadness and tears and anger and um, even some self-pity. Um,
Mhm.
and of course, I speak about those to my fiance, and he's wonderful. He has nothing negative to say, but it feels like I go through all the emotions with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
And if you could wave a magic wand and things were all different, what would be going on?
I would just feel less cloudy, more energetic, and when I'm doing the things, when I'm eating healthy and exercising, I would see progress. I don't have to be perfect, but I just want to see some progress over time.
Okay. Cool. We've got enough to get started tapping on this. And what we're looking to do here is kind of change the feelings about
Mm.
all of it, which is kind of the first part of opening the door. When I'm working with people on things like energy and hormones and weight, there's a lot of lower chakra work to do there. There's usually a lot of things from childhood, a lot of subconscious beliefs around things that also bring themselves into the present day. And then there's also a number of things that we can do with hypnotherapy that allow us to command the cells and organs of your body to work differently also. So I know I've had a lot of fun like working with women a little older than you, like that are going through menopause and stuff. Like we can do
Mhm.
things that basically accelerate menopause so that they or perimenopause so that they get to menopause faster. Like the ones that are
Yes.
like, "Oh, I can't deal with these hot flashes anymore. This is taking too long,
Yes.
you know." We can get through that faster and they don't have to worry about it. But basically
Yeah.
commanding their body to do these things in a different way. And it's crazy what we can do with that. I mean, people, if they break a bone in one foot, we can do hypnotherapy and have their other foot replicate what the good foot is doing.
Mm. That's
So
incredible.
that's also the kind of stuff that we can do with this. So just kind of saying there's another layer to this that we can work on, but we can start doing around kind of working on some of these feelings around it and seeing
Okay.
what comes up and what comes out.
Can I
So
ask one question quick
yeah,
about
of
that
course.
too? Is with the hormones, I know I didn't speak about this earlier. What was shifting is not just weight gain, and hopefully this isn't too TMI for everyone listening,
Sure.
looking, but I wasn't even getting a period for 7 months. I was losing hair, and there's a lot of different shifts, like that cloudiness I did talk about.
Yeah,
And the reason I said that is because I know that there was actually hormone changes. It wasn't just me being
right.
lazy or, not doing those things. And so for a while, I thought it was perimenopause. I'm like, how am I 35 and not getting a period? I've since, that's all good. Everything is like regular that way, but I still notice that weight gain is kind of the lingering effect. So,
Yeah, for sure. And I also would recommend, I know you said on your show that you'd listen to some of my shows, listen to the one with Dr. Janine Krause.
okay.
She was a client of mine for the last year, and she's also an amazing acupuncturist, and she helps people balance their hormones. Her content is like top notch, and a lot of my clients, they're having hormone issues in conjunction with working with me, work with her. So
Yeah, perfect. Okay.
I think you'll like her content and get some good value out of it.
Okay,
So
thank you.
let's rate the level of distress then on a level of 0 to 10 when you think about basically, I mean, this is like a when you think my body's letting me down.
Hmm.
How much does that resonate with you? Where like 10
Oh,
is like the
goodness.
most
I think
and
about it probably daily. So 8.
okay. So now it's just like follow the leader. You're just going to do what I do. I'm going to say something, you're going to say it back. If I totally am off base and I'm saying something that you're like, no, that's not it at all, let's change the words.
Okay.
Okay. Obviously, I've only known you for like the last hour as far as talking. So I want to make sure I'm on point. I'm usually pretty good at tapping into energy and reading people, but sometimes I get it wrong
You
because I
never
am
know.
not
Yeah.
you. So we're going to start on the side of our hand, just tapping gently. And it doesn't matter whether you use one hand or the other hand, makes no difference. You can repeat after me. Even though I feel like my body is letting me down,
Even though I feel like my body is letting me down,
I want to love, accept, and forgive myself.
I want to love and accept myself.
And it's okay if you feel like crying.
Yeah. I'm good with being vulnerable, so it's okay if I cry too to me, so it's all good.
Okay, just want to let you know that's pretty normal. Um, even though I don't know what I'm doing wrong, I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
Even though I don't know what I'm doing wrong, I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
I love, accept, and forgive myself.
And even though I'm trying so hard and nothing seems to be changing,
And even though I am trying very hard and nothing seems to be changing,
and I just feel stuck,
and I just feel stuck,
I'm open to the idea that this can change.
I am open to the idea that this can change.
Now we're going to start moving through the other points. We're going to go to the top of the head right now. My energy is so depleted.
Oh, my energy is so depleted.
And I don't know what the heck is going on with my hormones.
And I don't know what the heck is going on with my hormones.
One minute I'm sad and crying.
1 minute I'm sad and crying.
The next minute I'm angry and having a moment of self pity.
The next minute I'm angry and having a moment of self-pity.
It's such an unwanted roller coaster,
It's such an unwanted roller coaster,
and I don't want to accept it
and I don't want to accept that.
because it was only a couple of years ago that everything was working out just fine.
This was only a couple years ago that everything was working out just fine.
My exercise yielded results, and I had great energy.
My exercise had great results and I had energy.
And now I feel like my body is letting me down,
And now I feel like my body is letting me down.
and I don't want to accept it.
And I don't want to accept it.
I feel like I don't have the energy to start things,
I feel like I don't have the energy to start things.
and my inner critic has a lot to say about that.
And my inner critic has a lot to say about that.
You're never going to fulfill your potential, Shanna.
Ooh, I don't want to say that.
That's not something that you say to yourself?
No, it's not.
No? You mentioned that you thought you would never be able to finish the things that you wanted to start to take things to the next level.
You're right. I did say that. You're right.
So
I
word it the way that you'd want to say it. I'm not trying to be overwhelmingly harsh, but
No,
we
it's
usually tend to
okay.
be
It's
pretty darn
okay.
harsh to ourselves.
Um, I feel like I'm not able to continue the things that I've started to get where I want.
And I get so jealous when I see other people getting results easily.
Mm, I get jealous when I see other people getting results easily
Because I'm trying so hard and I judge them and think they're not.
because I'm trying so hard and I judge them and think that they're not.
It just seems to come so easy for them.
It seems to come so easy for them.
And it used to come easy for me.
And it used to come easy for me.
And I don't want it to be harder.
And I don't want it to be harder.
I don't want to have to relearn how to handle my own body.
I don't want to have to relearn how to handle my own body.
I don't want to have to learn how to navigate these new seasons.
I don't want to have to learn how to navigate these new seasons.
But I'm open to the idea that I can.
But I'm open to the idea that I can.
In a world where change is the only constant,
In a world where change is the only constant,
how could I expect my body to be any different?
how can I expect my body to be any different?
Clearing this resistance to my own change
Clearing this resistance to my own change
down to a cellular level
down to a cellular level
and opening up to the idea
and opening up to the idea
that I can have all the energy I want,
that I can have all the energy that I want,
that I can manifest the physical results I desire,
that I can manifest the physical results that I desire,
and that my weight can also reflect that change.
and that my weight can also reflect that change.
I am always in progress.
I am always in progress.
And while this body has let me down,
And while this body has let me down,
it's the only one I've got.
it's the only one I've got.
And I am here to do life with this body.
And I am here to do life with this body.
So I'm going to cut it a little slack.
So I'm going to cut it a little slack.
And realize that just like me,
Realize like just like me,
it's doing the best it knows how to do with what I'm giving it.
doing the best it knows how to do with what I'm giving it.
Now I want you to tap the sides of your fingers. I'm just tap the side of the thumb, basically where the nail meets the finger. With love,
With love,
move to the pointer finger. Acceptance,
acceptance,
middle finger. Tolerance,
tolerance,
skip to your pinky. And understanding.
and understanding.
Now we're going to tap the back of your hand where your like ring finger meets your pinky, but up from there. I now forgive. I now forgive. I now forgive.
I now forgive. I now forgive. I now forgive.
And I call my power back into my body.
And I call my power back into my body.
I am whole, complete, and powerful.
I am whole, complete, and powerful.
I want you to take a nice deep breath, Shanna, in through your nose, out through your mouth. How are you feeling now?
Ooh. Well, definitely understood with all you said. And a little bit at ease, even though I'm still worked up with crying. And that I deserve to say those things to myself.
Yeah. When you revisit the thought, my body has let me down, how true does that feel now on a 0 to 10?
From that 8 to probably a 4 or 5.
Yeah. This body confidence and body image things are really hard to get to 0 on a one round of tapping.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
you can see, like, I mean, that's like a cutting it in half change in a very short period of time where, perhaps you feel a little bit more compassion for yourself,
Very much. Yes.
a little bit more understanding for what the body's going through. And it's a lot like what we talked about in the show with like the different seasons. Like our bodies go through all these seasons too, and this is the hormones are going to keep shifting. Like I'm 45. I'm pretty sure I'm in perimenopause at this point. Nobody's like officially like giving me a certificate or anything, but
Do we get those? Can I get that someday?
I would say it's verifiable. And this is going to be like, even though I'm in perimenopause, like that can last up to 20 years for women. And
Right.
it's not like the same throughout those 20 years. I'm exploring things like seed cycling right now and other like supplements to support like my hormones and stuff.
Yeah.
So there's always these things that we just have to kind of go, okay, well, yep, that worked 2 or 3 years ago, but now what?
That's not doing it. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not
And
always
that's really,
welcome,
I
but
really feel that's why I tried to shift even how I viewed diet and exercise in general and
yeah,
supplements and all of the things where rather going, hard in the gym and being a complete gym rat, it was what can make me feel good and energized and still calm and doing that.
right.
So I'm open to that huge shift because I've shifted basically everything physically. But it's just been tough. So
Yeah. Well, I applaud you for being vulnerable and stepping into this space with me, and I
yeah, I
appreciate it.
love it.
And for all of you that tapped along with us, I always love to hear from people and hear what your shift might have been or what you experienced. So feel free to shoot me an email, Theresa@theresalearlevine.com. Let me know what your number was when you started, when you wrapped up, and what kind of things came into your consciousness throughout it. And would you like to hear from people too, Shauna?
Yes. Oh my goodness, I would love
What's your
that.
email address?
So the easiest one's going to be, let's do Davista Photography. It's easier to spell. It's half David, half Starless. So DAVISTA photography at me.com.
Awesome. And we will look forward to hearing from you guys. And thank you so much for tapping with me.
Thank you. I appreciate you so much.
You too.